Welcome back to another Alliance War. This is the second war of Season 5, and for Loki is taking on OMNI, the creators of the Omniverse. Now, OMNI got a lot of friends over in that alliance, and I've already actually uploaded one fight from this war, which is one of the crazier fights that I've ever recorded in Alliance Wars. That's why I uploaded that one separately, especially because I wasn't thinking that I was going to be uploading Alliance Wars this season anyway, so I figured let me at least get that one out. But now here we go. We got the full war loaded in. I've got a 20% champion boost, 10% attack, and 20% health boost. And first fight up is a 5-star science champion on Limber and Aggression Fury. This node is very common to see an OG Spidey here, so I know this is going to be an OG Spidey going into it. I brought Blade this war to give the 3 poise charges to Spidey. Going to go ahead and pop an invulnerability boost just in case the evades are a bit too much to handle and he strikes back before I can kind of pull back on one of his evades. So we go ahead and pop that. And here I get the loading wheel of death, and I'm like, okay, no problem. Whatever, it's going to go in any second, right? Oh no, problems connecting to network. Now I'm freaking out. But finally it does load in, everything is fine, it goes away, and we do get into the fight without disconnecting. Alright, so the first little hurdle there is dealt with. But now we're into this fight with this OG Spidey. And OG Spidey, he doesn't have a lot of health, but he can deal a lot of damage. Especially if any of those Aggression Furies stack up. So I'm not worried about building up poise charges. I'm just trying to get some good clean hits in without him building up those Furies. He's dropping pretty fast. If I could just hit him a couple more times, I'll bait out this special 2 right here. Hopefully he doesn't evade on these final hits. He's evading a little bit. Go ahead and just get one more stun. Luckily I had one more parry stun available to me. And he does go down. OG Spidey, first fight of this war is dealt with. Alright, next fight up we have a 6-star science champion. I don't know, I didn't know going into this war what this champion was going to be, but it didn't matter. Science champion, on this node, on Bane Stun Immune, I know I'm taking in Void. So, doesn't matter who they are. It turns out that it's Gladiator Hulk. Okay, Gladiator Hulk should be relatively easy for me. Keyword is should be, because I actually do end up making a few mistakes here, as you will see. Gladiator Hulk, the big thing to watch out for him is to watch out for his smash, which right there he triggers smash on his special one, and I just was not ready for it for some reason. I fought this guy 1,000 times, and just for whatever reason I was not on my A game for this fight. When he has Smash, ooh, and I just got hit by a heavy attack too. But basically, when he has Smash active, you can't attack into him. You have to hold your attack until that goes away. Find a different opening beyond that, because he's essentially unstoppable, and he will just strike you back automatically. So what was supposed to be an easy fight, what was supposed to be a fight where I didn't lose much health, I ended at like above 90% health or something. I end up ending that around 65% health or so. Alright, due to the connection issues and me kind of really wanting to make sure that my connection was solid and stable before I get into this fight, my 3-minute boost fell off, whereas normally I would have been able to carry it through. This is node 24, the buffet recovery and limber node, and it is an Agent Venom. So I healed up my Stark Spidey to go in here. And just going to build up to 10 poise charges and try my best to not get punched in the face, essentially. Which, again, I'm not playing on my A game here, and I do slip up and I do get punched in the face at one point. The start of the fight goes perfect. He doesn't throw a heavy attack there, but that's fine. He finally throws the heavy attack. I get my openings. I'm still well above 50% health. But here's where I start to slip up just a little bit. I try to pull back as if he was going to be throwing a heavy attack, but he wasn't throwing a heavy attack. He just threw a full 5-hit combo, and some of those 5 hits went straight to my face. So, but everything else beyond that goes perfectly fine. Just gonna bait out this special here before I take this fight any further. Got 10 poise charges again. Gonna bait out another heavy attack. He's gonna heal up a little bit, but that's fine. Gonna drop this L2. I'm getting a lot of crits here. He does shrug off the shocks, which is to be expected with Agent Venom. He's healing up a little bit more with Buffet, but another 5-hit combo. Drop the L1, and Agent Venom goes down. Alright, moving on to the second half of the war here, basically. Moving on to Path 7, and I actually wait for my boost to drop off. so that I can heal up, because when you take this 6 to 7 switch and some other paths in here too, it's not just this one, but essentially you don't have enough energy to take your entire path, so you're kind of forced to boost up twice for each of these wars, which really sucks in my opinion, but there's no real way around it. So this time I pop a 30% champion boost, a 10% attack, and a 15% health boost. The attack and health boost, I usually just stick to like the cheapest ones available. The champion boost, the green boosts, I just try to manage those as best as possible, because all of them are limited to 10, 20, and 30%, so I kind of just pick whichever one I either have the most of, or whichever one I feel is most appropriate for the war. I know I've got a tough fight coming up, not with this Sabertooth. The Sabertooth will be just fine, but I've got a tough fight coming up with a Domino on 42, so go ahead and pop that 30%er. Alright, this Sabertooth shouldn't be too much trouble. I fight Sabertooth all day long. The biggest piece of advice I can give you guys if you ever have trouble with Sabertooth is if you do a 5-hit combo, don't dash back right away. If you're trying to bait out specials, either do a 4-hit combo or bait it out after throwing a special. This way you have plenty of distance that you could evade that special. Right here, I am going to make a little bit of a mistake. I only have 4 debuffs on him right now. In my mind, that timer going to apply the next debuff, I thought that was the 6th one. So I held off my special, but it would have been great timing to throw it, actually. And you can see here, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what? Where's Fear the Void? Oh, that's right, I only had 5 debuffs, so I go ahead and throw the L1 finally. Get that 6th debuff going. Fear the Void's gonna trigger here. Get another debuff. Luckily, it is Petrify, and yeah, this guy at this point, with Fear the Void, Petrify, and all the regen that he has, that is turned straight to degen, and Sabertooth does not last much longer. Alright, the next fight, 5-star Science Champion with a persistent charge. So it's either MODOK or Sentry. I don't really care who it is. I'm going in there with Void either way. And it's explosive personality, so the only real thing to worry about here is not attacking into their block, which is why MODOK is fairly common here, and that's why MODOK is here this war as well, because the auto block counts as you attacking into his block. So the idea here is to only attack with heavies, with Void at least. With other champions, I don't know, you might have to do a different strategy here. You might not have enough DPS. I slip up there. I just kind of, with my reflexes, just automatically punish the L1, which I should not have done. That did give him an armor up charge, but that's fine. You have to give him a few of those before you take any damage back yourself. So the fight is still totally under control. Just going to try my best to just stick to only using these heavy attacks. I'm not worried about throwing my specials. The damage that I have from my automatically applying debuffs will kind of fill in the rest of the damage here. And I get pretty fortunate that my first 3 debuffs were, I get 1 of each of the debuffs. If you can spread them out like that, that's when you're going to deal the most damage to this guy. Get hit a few times there in the face, but that's okay. Those few hits, no big deal, no big deal. Yeah, get the debuffs. They're still rolling, they're still doing their thing, still doing all the damage. Just kind of holding on to my special. At this point, I'm thinking, all right, you know what? Let's give this one to Sentry. Let's pop a special 3 to finish off this fight. But I kind of forgot that when you use a special 3 against MODOK, it has a unique animation, and that kind of overrides my animation. So I'm not going to be switching to Sentry like I wanted to, and I will be ending this fight with Void. So sorry, Sentry, I tried to give this one to you, but Void will get this kill. Pull out his batteries. He pops like a little balloon, and boom, KO. MODOK is down. Alright, moving on to the next fight here. We've got, this is the fight that I did upload separately, this fight against Domino on this note, because like I said, it is one of the crazier fights that I've had throughout my entire time playing War, especially in such a high-pressure situation, because this War, it was decided by one defender kill, essentially. One defender kill was made all the difference. So any of these wars, when you get a real close matchup like this one is, Every single death matters just so much. Alright, go ahead and pop an advanced power boost. And I think I had one expiring, if I remember correctly. This is kind of, this happened a little while ago, so I think I had one expiring. But either way, it actually does help quite a bit against Domino. Just because, you know, she has a chance to, for your debuffs to fail. So just getting that initial extra debuff going in the beginning of the fight, or the initial attempt at a debuff can be really helpful. And a lot of times, you know, if you pop like an invulnerability boost and you're not using a champion that is, you know, is bleed immune, then you could just die from the bleed anyway, even if you survive the initial L3. So if I was using a bleed immune champion, then invulnerability boost would have been by far the best way to go. But Void, not bleed immune. All right, so we got a couple of debuffs to stick, and I'm just trying my best to keep Domino over on the right side of the map. A lot of times I don't like to do the countering her medium with my medium thing. You know, if I need to, I will use that technique, but I find it better to keep her to the right side of the map if I'm just blocking, baiting out heavies for my openings. Whenever she goes lucky, I try to pull back this way she doesn't evade, because that's the only time that she can evade. And now that I've got a few debuffs that have stuck on her, I don't really want to throw my special one anymore. I don't want to risk Fear of the Void failing to trigger, and then I lose all of my debuffs on her, I lose all of my damage, I lose all of that control that I have over the arc overload of this node. So yeah, unfortunately it kind of does go to that 6 debuff anyway, but luckily Fear of the Void does land. You know, it should have landed more times than not. It will land, especially when she wasn't lucky. I'm not unlucky. So Fear of the Void does land, but at this point I am stuck against the wall. This is exactly where I did not want to find myself. I did practice kind of evading her heavy attacks. I did not get the evade on that one though. And man, I'm gonna be here for a little while, so I can't really afford to miss time another heavy attack because her power meter is so close to a special 3. I'm trying to give myself as much time after she throws her heavy attack with my guard down to bait out her special. She finally throws a special 2. I don't even try to attack into her. I just immediately throw my special 3 just to give myself that distance. Fear of the Void at this point has fallen off as well, but I do have a couple of debuffs on her, so if Arc Overload happens to trigger again, it should be okay for the most part. But man, what a crazy situation to be stuck against the wall for that long of a time. She's almost down. Just trying my best not to get hit anymore, and just want to finish this with an L1, nice and safe. And there we go. Domino is down. Man, what a rough fight. What a rough fight. Kind of a little bit of a trip down memory lane watching that one again, since I uploaded it a little while ago separately to the channel. Okay, final fight of this war is going to be a 6-star Nebula, and I could definitely finish this fight with my Stark Spidey 99% of the time, but I'm thinking, well, what's the safest play? The safest play is to heal up Void, and like I said, I don't really want to risk dying at all, so I just go with Void. It doesn't matter if I have to use a bit more glory on those potions. That's fine. I want to go with as safe a play as possible, and having over 40,000 HP with Void, having you know, I'm able to control Void a lot better than I am Stark Spidey. The animations are just a little bit smoother for me. Plus, you know, there's some healing on this node. There's some power gain on this node. If I accidentally, you know, forgot that there was additional power gain and somehow I triggered Nebula to get a special 3 or something like that, I'd rather just fight it with Void. During an off-season war or something, I would 100% just go in without healing. I'd go in with Stark Spidey. It would be no problem, like I said, 99% of the time. Probably even higher than 99% of the time. But I'm looking for that 100%. What is the safest option? Alright, so at this point I've got Petrify is up, so she's no longer gaining any power anytime I throw my specials with that node. So yeah, this fight is totally under control. I'm trying my best to not push her to an L2 though, just because the L1s are a lot easier to evade. Just like that. So, alright, Fear the Void is about to trigger, but I didn't feel like I had enough time to throw the L1 there, so wanted to bait out one more special here. And at this point, the fight is so close to being over, I don't really need to throw another special 1, so we just launched the special 2, try to get a little bit of extra damage going there. And Nebula, she is about to go down for my final fight of this Alliance War. So this was an extremely close war, and you can see I've got that loading wheel of death going on again. I'm like, no, come on, you gotta be kidding me, dude. I just finished my path. Please don't disconnect me and give me a death here for no reason. But there we go. I see the full attack bonus achieved. So okay, let me just get to the next screen here. Make sure he's actually down. Okay, awesome, good. It's over. Like I said, this was a very, very close war. Good war to all my friends over in Omni. It was only a difference of 1 death between the 2 alliances, so really crazy stuff. But we did take the victory here. So for Loki, we're starting out pretty good this season with a 2-0 record. But that is going to do it for this war. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.